It's time for Chat with Chuck, live from Windsor, California, discussing stuff on Chuck's mind, life, attitudes, and stuff. And now, your host, Chuck the DJ.
Hey, welcome everybody, and how you doing? I'm back. That's what I thought would be a kind of an appropriate song before I got going. Jimbo's got a poll at the top of the chat. He's got a big lottery thing going on, Powerball. I'll be buying some tickets tomorrow. I'm not shy. Everybody says you have like the chances of winning the Powerball are like a gazillion to one, right? But if you don't buy a ticket or two, the chance is zero. So why not? You know why? I mean, don't go crazy. Go buy one. I honestly, I buy one. I usually buy one. I might buy 5 this time. I might walk in with a 10 and go, okay, give me 5. And I don't pick my own numbers. I let the machine pick it for you. Jim bought one single ticket. That's cool. And now, if you win, fly me out there. I'd like to come visit. I would like to welcome everybody here. Lots of people come in the chat early on. I appreciate that. Sam Nation, Tennessee Girl, Radioactivity, of course, Jimbo, Tennessee. Did I say Tennessee already? You know, Dan Stans, DJ Deb was there, Pro Lurker. Thank you so much. I came back last week. I did a show last Tuesday. And unfortunately for me, I think maybe because I'd had the time off, that I didn't hit the right button when it came time to record the show, and so I could put it up on YouTube. And as you know, that we take the show here and we record it and we put it up on YouTube on the Chat with Chuck channel. And last week we discussed the weirdness, the wackiness of why I took a break, why I stepped back, why I said I wasn't coming back, and why I came back. And so what I'm going to do today is I'm gonna when we get there, I'm gonna provide a short recap of that so you know what we're talking about. Because once I kind of put my feelings out there and my thoughts out there, I got some really nice positive text and messages and stuff like that. And so I put the word out to my streamers, my other streamers out there. Lockpick, nice that you shopped in. Thank you. Come on in. And I got some great responses from people because what I put out there was I asked Masarasa 420, how you doing? For some reason, Masarasa comes in same time Lockpick does. I don't know, but we'll talk about that later. So I put the word out and I asked other streamers, have you taken a break? If you did you come back? How do you feel about taking breaks? Just the kind of the break thing in general. And I got almost like you're in the same room. I got 6 pages of responses from those, and I'm going to be reading those and going through some of those today. And I do appreciate the people that give me the support to take the time to answer my inquiries. And that's very nice of them because I know that everybody's got like a crap load of stuff going on. Jimbo, I got yours today. Tennessee Girl, thank you for that. I'm going to run through those today. We're going to talk about those. And but first, I'm kind of killing a little time here in case we have any late comers. But I do want to talk about the new streaming site that is up and out and making some noise called LFG. Let's fucking go. I don't know any ins and outs about it. I don't know any. I hear it's put together for DJs by DJs. And what's not. Greg's on LFG. I'm on LFG. I'm there. Chuck the DJ, CA. If you happen to go on there and you want to follow me, that's fine. I do not know if I will be streaming on there, but I did want to register my name and get my name on there, just in case. There are a number of DJs that have already jumped on LFG, and they are already streaming. As far as I know, and again, I only know my little world, I don't know anybody who is solely streaming on LFG. the people that I know that are on there, Monica, thank you. We'll be playing some music after the show. The people that are on LFG right now, as far as I know, are people that are restreaming, that are streaming to both. Greg is on Kick, LFG, and Twitch, and a number of the DJs are. I was watching LFG, I think last night when I got home from my gig. I was watching DJ. Come on, Tennessee Girl, you mod for him. KGB, one of my favorite DJs. Damn Beat, LFG. It's a new streaming site called Let's Fucking Go. I guess LFG. It's a new. It's going to be the new Kick. So yeah, LFG.TV. So you can find it. You can go there. You can register your name. You can jump on. I am told so far that they are heavily promoting 2 DJs to get DJs on there. Now, to me, on an outsider, thank you, Tennessee. On an outsider's viewpoint, looking in, there are a couple cool things on there that they're integrating into the system. They are still working on it. I don't know if it's called beta. I don't think they're in beta. I think that they are, but they are still adding things on as they go. So they're supposed to get some very, very cool things on there. One of the things they have on there already that I like is they have an automatic title and artist thing for if you're playing a song. It automatically comes up there. You don't have to add it in like you do on Twitch or Kick. You don't have to add it in. It's already up there. It's not always correct. The other night I was watching somebody and they had the right title but the wrong group. But it is very cool that they've integrated that into the system. That is one of the things I think it does. Yeah, it's very cool, Jim. So they're going to get there supposedly. They're adding things. They're doing more things like that. And supposedly I heard through the grapevine that they are going to eventually they're going to, advertise and target, the casual viewer to get people to come to there. Now, my thoughts. It looks like to me Kick 2.0 to me, because the situation with me, what I think is that getting the DJs to go over there, just like on Kick, was easy. Hey, we're going to pay you more to be here. Hell yeah. Let's go. I jumped on it. Everybody jumped on it. There we go. But the problem with Kick was made for gamblers, not DJs. But the problem with Kick was that the casual viewer had no reason to go over to Kick. Why didn't they have a reason to go over to Kick? They had no reason to go over there because their streamers that they like, their DJs that they like, were still on Twitch. Same thing is going to happen with LFG. For example, I'm going to go with what I would call a popular streamer, one of the guys that I know, DJ Alpha Music. Or we can do KGB, either one. But Alpha, I think, is more popular than KGB. So Alpha is restreaming to both, right? So you're a casual viewer. You watch Alpha, you whatever, you got him on Twitch and yada, yada, yada. Now he goes, oh, hey, I'm going to go over to LFG. Follow me over there. Why? Why would the casual viewer change over to LFG if they can just stay there on Twitch and watch you? Yeah, they're used to Twitch. They know the program. Twitch has got a what do you call it? The on the phone, the phone app, which I guess LFG doesn't have yet, but they're supposed to get one. But there is no reason for the viewer to follow the person over to LFG. There's no reason whatsoever. Unless that DJ stops streaming on Twitch. Okay? And that's a big, huge gamble for the DJ. Is somebody like Alpha that makes good money on Twitch, are they going to shut down and go over to LFG in the hopes that everybody follows them? Because that would be the only reason somebody would go over there to follow him. Why go over there if they've already if they can stay there on Twitch and watch them and be comfortable? Now, I say the casual viewer because there are some viewers that are more supportive financially. They're dropping biddies, they're dropping subs, that kind of thing. Now, those are the viewers that if they happen to go over to Kick or if they happen to go over to LFG are going to be coveted because they're going to make more money. They're going to supply the DJ with more money because as you know, it's we'll talk about later. I think right now, if you sub me over here, you sub to any DJs on Twitch, you're and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong because I've heard again this is grapevine stuff. Your $5 or $6 sub, that DJ only gets $1.50 of that sub on Twitch. Could be wrong, but that's what I heard. Right, so. Yeah, let's go over to LFG or Kick, where we get 95% of that. You sub me for $5 or $6, I'm going to get $4, $4.50, whatever that works out to be. It's 50-50 on Twitch. That's not what I've heard, Pete. But even with 50-50, 40-60. Oh yeah, the DJ program 40-60. There you go. So it's even going lower. So that's the point. That's the point. Yeah, if you're a partner, that I'm not even talking partners because I got in trouble talking about partners before. I'm not going to talk about partners again. But yeah, partner, that's a different deal, and I have no expertise in the partner area. So the whole point is that Twitch takes a lot of money from that, and so to the DJ, to the streamer, going to Kick or going to LFG looks very, very good because we'll get a higher payout. But history has shown getting the viewer to go from one platform to another platform didn't work. Didn't work for Kick, right? There's a lot of positives on Kick. Pete, I agree with you. There's a lot of positives on that. My wife will never like it when I talk about partners. Only if it's a Tina baby. That's a whole nother story. Yeah, from the DJ standpoint, there's a lot of positives about going over to the other platform. But I'm talking about the viewers. It doesn't do any good if you get a gazillion DJs to go over to whatever platform if the viewers don't follow them. And the viewers are going to have no reason to follow you over there if you're still streaming on Twitch, which is they're comfortable with. They've got it programmed in their car. They've got it on their phones. They've got it on their home desktop computer. Whatever. And now you're asking them to shut all that down and go to another site. I just don't see it happening. And I would love to hear your some thoughts here on in the chat. Now, I'm going to take a second here to remind the viewers. I do put this on YouTube, and for those of you that are watching it on YouTube, I will remind you that I do the show live. I have a live chat going on, and so sometimes I get involved with the chat on screen, and which will throw me off my train, for example, a little bit. So if you're watching on YouTube, do me a favor, please bear with me. Or if you're listening, you're jogging down the road, you're driving down the road on YouTube, you're listening. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And if those of you that are watching here, are you here now if you want to go to the YouTube channel, Tennessee Girl just dropped it in the chat, to rewatch any of the shows that we have done so far on moderators, on viewers. We've done one on partners, and then just a couple other shows that they're great. Broseph, how you doing? I don't see how LFG can work when Twitch hasn't turned a profit since Amazon bought it in 2014. Streaming isn't free. I don't know who's behind LFG. I don't know. I do not know where the money is now. But Kick, we all know the money behind Kick is behind some gambling thing, but or at least again that's what I heard. I have no idea who's behind LFG. I know that there are some DJs that are strongly supporting the platform, who are pushing the platform and who are really there. DJs have years invested in Twitch, building their following, getting their name out in the community. It would suck to start all over again. Yes, I agree, Sam Nation. Victor, how you doing? Victor says he would not want to start over either. And ReadyBot is agreeing with Victor. Thank you, ReadyBot. Yeah, that's the whole point. But there's no, like I say, and I don't see it happening. I honestly don't see. I don't see Victor, who's got a huge following at nighttime, going over to LFG and shutting down on Twitch and going over there. Now, the restreaming thing, you guys want to restream over there, that's great. Maybe you're going to get, some extra biddies or subs or whatever they call it over there. and maybe that would be great. Maybe a little extra finances. That's wonderfulness. I am not putting that down. I know that watching KGB the other night, who has got monitors. If you're on different platforms, you've got to have a monitor for each platform. You got to watch each monitor. You've got to stay on top of it. If you're I made a joke on KGB's chat. I can't remember who was in there with me. I made a post on there in his chat on LFG, and I said, let's see how long it takes him to see me. Because he's watching barely. Yeah, you can barely take care of Twitch, Victor says. Yeah, you're watching Twitch, which is your main one. Oh, crap, look over here. I mean, I stopped restreaming on Kick for, a couple of reasons. One is I didn't really have a big viewership over there. And two, trying to pay attention was hard. You're watching this one, you're watching that one, and as we talked about in one of my episodes on Chat with Chuck a while back about how to keep viewers in your stream, one of the things that we talked about was engaging with your viewers, in the chat. And if you're not on your chat, if you're not following your chat, is Winnipeg on Kick? I didn't know Winnipeg was on Kick. My gosh, I'll have to get down there and say hi. If you're not engaging with your viewers, I was watching somebody else on Kick or on LFG. I can't remember who it was, and I dropped 100 biddies or coins. They call them coins there. I dropped 100 coins, and they never acknowledged me. And if people are going to sub you, or if they're going to drop biddies or coins or whatever they're calling it, you gotta acknowledge that kind of thing. You gotta acknowledge them. Thank them. And if you don't, then people are going to be like, that can get back into that ego thing that that we're going to talk about. But anyway, all right. So I'm going to take a little sip of my Diet Coke here, and I think we're going to get into it a little bit. So time will tell about LFG. I don't want to keep on saying the bad word. And I could say, let's freaking go. KGB, heard his name 3 times. And look who popped in. Either you're 12 feet tall, or that's the smallest pop can I've ever seen. I'm 12 feet tall, Lockpick. I used to play basketball. Yeah. KGB, how you doing? KGB says it's hard with LFG on the mobile device. The screen locks. Then you have to constantly refresh. They need a mobile app and a very good developed one if they are to be successful. Yeah, and if people are gonna pop over there, I joked about last night, or was it last night? I was watching your show about how long is it going to take KGB to notice me as we're making comments over on your chat on that side, because it's hard to watch more than one screen when you're streaming. You got so much things going on. You're talking, you're trying to interact, you're mixing the music, you're trying to pick your song, you're whatever, and on top of that, you have to, watch all these things. Victor brought up a very good point. Not sure how Kick or LFG will deal with copyright issues. That, I mean, they came after Twitch. How long before they go after Kick or LFG? Maybe there's something, unless they actually become big. Lockpick, I was kind of thinking that. Why worry about something that's, I mean, how long did it take the copyright people, record people, whatever, to come after us over on Twitch? It took a while. We were playing for years before they decided that they were going to come after us. And when they did, all heck broke loose. And I still don't care. I'm in the DJ program, so that gives me a little more leeway with the restricted artist. The do not play the list, and I don't know, this may have changed behind me, some of the do not plays, but you get an email almost daily. I don't care. I mean, if I want to play a Steely Dan song or a Rod Stewart song or Beatles song, I'm gonna do it. And I think I was up to 55, what I call Bad Boys Letter. Yeah, Pete still plays them all. And I know we all say this again, and I'm going to say it again. If you're here, please follow all these great DJs in the chat because wonderful, wonderful DJs. No one cares now. Everybody was scared at first. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, it's on the Do Not playlist!" Oh, and but nobody cares a crap. Now, if for some reason the powers that be start coming after DJs, they added more music labels to their approved list recently. Oh, cool. So that list I had was over here. Sorry, was probably outdated. So does anybody really care? I mean, is anybody really being, worried about it? I mean, I do every once in a while. I'm watching a streamer and they're like, oh, I want to play Ozzy and I can't or whatever. And, but I don't know really too many. The very first one I got was, when I've talked about this before, I got a what I call bad boy letter, cease and desist letter for playing a Herman's Hermits song. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I can't play Herman's Hermits. I'm like, too. Dance DJ Deb, Deb is still being good. That's nice of you, Deb. You're one of the few. But as you can see, most of us just stay away from nudity. Yes, was my 3-day bans. That was my 3-day ban, was playing the Lenny Kravitz TK421 video and Lenny showing his butt. But anyway, and how many times did I play that video before I got caught on that? That goes back to I think we talked about this before of must have been somebody in the chat that reported it, because do they really have an algorithm that watches for actual video nudity? Because if they do, there's a lot of rap videos that they really should keep their eye on. Yeah, Tennessee remembers when they shut me down because of playing Lenny. Midstream, they didn't even give me a notice. They just shut me down. I was like, what? Yeah, 3 days later, I was like, back on. Yeah. Or people that hit you that will report. You know what, Deb? I was going to say, how am I going to put this? Some of the drama on Twitch, and again, one of my other episodes back then, we discussed the drama and the mean people. And yeah, if it really, Sam Nation, nobody hates Chuck. That's a lie. I wish I could say that. I wish I could say that, Sam. I heard, and we're gonna get on this in just a second. I heard through the grapevine when I did my partner stream, when I talked about partners, Tang Fever. That Lenny video made you feel insecure. When I did my partners show, my show about partners, apparently I annoyed somebody who is a partner and or a few people. I actually only heard about one, but they're friends supposedly. And I heard through the grapevine that because of my partner show, that they would never raid me again. They were so upset with what I talked about and how I was talking about partners that they were like, I'm never going to raid that guy again. And I was like, oops, because I don't get that many raids to begin with. I can't afford to have one not raid me. But anyway, so that happened during my partner show. So somebody out there doesn't like me. I don't know. Me and my tiny can of Coke. All right, so let's talk about Twitch breaks. I started streaming on Twitch 2020, and it seemed like every year or so I would get to a point where I would be like, why am I doing this? Why am I wasting my time? I'm not getting people. I'm not getting support financially. This is stupid. And I'm shutting down and I'm not coming back. And I think I've done that like 3 or 4 times now. And each time I come back with my head between my legs. I will say though that this last time, which actually was less than 2 months ago, I took about 5 weeks off. This last time I was sure I wasn't coming back. And as we discussed last week, a lot of it had to do with ego based on my part. I have a huge ego, more like 10 times, KGB says. And there are aspects of my personality, of my ego, that I wish I could change, and I keep trying to change things. And but it's just so ingrained in me that it's very, very hard. And I know it's not I know it's not a positive. I know it's not a good thing. My wife's on me about it sometimes. Fortunately, she is extremely supportive. I probably have the most supportive wife on Twitch. But yeah, so that's the deal. Basically, it was ego based. Why I took a break. I got my feelings got hurt, and I said no. I'm done. I'm out of here. But I miss it. I truly enjoy streaming. Not just this show, but I just enjoy playing music. And that's why. And this was actually pointed out to me. Actually, it wasn't pointed out to me. It was reminded to me, because I've said this before, why you stream, you know, numbers, biddies, subs, raids, all that kind of stuff, don't matter. It's hard that it doesn't matter, but you have to stream because you just enjoy streaming, because you love streaming. So I'm not going to use names here, but I want to read a couple of responses. The email I sent out basically said, you know, have you ever streamed or have you ever taken a break before? If so, why? Why did you come back? What happened? So let me read this first one here. It says, honestly, Chuck, I don't know why I am still doing it at this point. I think about quitting every day. It used to be so much fun, and there was a little money to be made, but now Twitch only gives me, well, this is where I got the $1.50 part. It says Twitch only gives me $1.50 for subs because of the stupid ass DJ program. It's just not worth it anymore. Everyone I used to enjoy hanging out with has either made partner or stopped streaming. It's just it's just big business now. Last year on my stream anniversary, I made almost $500. This year I made $9. So yeah, there he goes. And the partner thing, that part of the partner thing that we're not going to talk about. So that's one viewpoint. Somebody I know and love, and I love watching the guy's show. But yeah, every day he thinks about it every day. Why am I doing this? Victor, I know who you're talking about. I was actually want to talk about him. He actually made a response here. I think that's two different things, KGB, the partners or they quit, not the same thing. They not becoming the, boy, you're going to get me started on partners. I'm going to get in trouble again. But I think that was two different things. They made partners or they stopped quitting, not they made partners and they quit. It was two different things. This person said, nope, I've never taken a break. When I stop, it will be for good. I hate what Twitch has become. I never get above level 2 hype trains, if at all, and about to redesign some support boxes for my overlays. Good luck. I'm only online rarely these days. It's just boring as hell. And, this is another, financial thing, you have to let that stuff go. And that's really hard. A more interesting question or conversation to have would be, how do Twitch streamers feel about hype trains when they see others getting them and continuously their stream is skipped over? Well, see, now for me, that was part of my ego thing, because that bothers me. And the story that I told last week was the last raid train I was on. The DJ before me got like a level 5 hype train, raids into me, all these same people. I do my 2 hours. I get absolutely nothing. I raid over here to this person. Within 5 minutes of me raiding into this person, this guy's got a level 3 hype train. And so here I am in the middle. And this is what set me off. And I talked about it last week, so that's why I didn't really get into it a whole lot this week. But that was like the straw that broke the camel back. I'm like, what am I doing? And it was a good train. So here we go on. Let's go to the next one here. Frequently, the deer in the headlights. Lack of support makes me want to be done, but I have nothing else in my life. I try various things to let the ego go, but it never works. I'm streaming right now, not because I want to, but because I'm down 2/5 in revenue of the month. There is no way I'll make that up before the deadline, which I'm assuming he means by the monthly deadline or his monthly deadline. But I'm streaming and cross my fingers that someone will do anything. Based on my last week performance, I'm likely to make $6 or $7 if I stay on for 8 hours, but I don't have 8 hours. KGB, thank you for the biddies. I appreciate that. I don't have my during my shows here. I don't have any of my emote commands or walls up. So normally when you cheer money, stuff comes up. Oh, it did come up. How about that? Just saw that. Okay. Guess I'm not as cool as I thought. So yeah, this is a streamer I know that streams for a living. That is their sole source of income. I know a couple of guys that are like that. I am fortunate. I don't have that problem. If I make $1,000, which is great, I appreciate that. But if I don't, it's not going to affect me. Except maybe I'll go to Taco Bell less or whatever. I mean, we all need money. It's all nice to have the money. Thank you for you guys dropping the bits and stuff in there. I so much appreciate it. Sam Nation, Victor, KGB. So that was kind of a reoccurring theme on this was the lack of financial support because it wasn't so much the lack of viewership, because I think a lot of guys are okay. Twitch is for a living is not a great idea unless you are DJ Jazzy Jeff, who, I mean, I've watched Jazz's show a few times. I don't know if he's any. Can I say this and not offend somebody? I don't know if he's any better than KGB or Alpha or my favorite female DJ, Syntica. I don't know. I mean, he's got the name. That's amazing. Thank you for the subs, you guys. He's just so nice. Yeah, he just has a name. Exactly, Victor. And that goes a long way. This next one here. I've taken a break for a few days. Almost called it quits a few times when the bullies are still doing things to me, but I haven't given in and let them win. But that is that. Yeah, and that goes back to the little bit of the drama thing that we talked about earlier. I mean, there is still, unfortunately, it's so sad, but I guess I want to say human nature. Yeah, you were just using him as an example of a DJ that gets thousands of viewers. Yes. Does he get a lot of subs and biddies though? Does somebody like DJ Jazzy Jeff, who has a name and is famous, and people assume that the guy has, a bunch of money, are they subbing him? Are they dropping biddies for him? Because it's for support. He doesn't need the support. He's got $1 zillion. But the drama thing, when the bullies come out, like everybody else, I wish there wasn't bullies. I wish everybody, the old utopian idea of, I wish everybody could get along and support everybody. And if you've got a problem with somebody, change the channel. Just don't go. There's no reason to go after that person in any way, shape, or form that you can do. KGB, thank you for the gifted subs you're doing. I so appreciate that. And to your mom, that was nice of you. There is just really no reason for the bullies on Twitch or anywhere, but on Twitch. We're all just trying to have fun, just trying to be supportive, just trying to spread a little love, a little happiness, a little cheer, not letting them win is huge. To know they're out there, to have them come after you and say, screw you, I'm just going to keep streaming because, I've got my supporters, I've got the people that come to my shows. I like streaming, I'm going to be that one. Yeah. Bye, Felicia. Yeah. Thank you, Radioactivity. That's a biggie, I've taken a step back from streaming 3 times a day to only 2 times a day. Only streams 2 times a day. Oh, look, we have a level 2 hype train. I didn't even notice that. Thank you for all those things going in. I watch my monitor on my desktop computer, and I can see myself and I can see everything going on. But I don't see a lot of the other stuff that's going on. And I look down here to my tablet, which has my show on it, and I see there's a thing there for a hype train. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, all those of you. So, yeah, the money thing was huge for a lot of people, as it was my straw that broke the camel's back, which is sad. And again, not because we needed it, but because of the attitude around it, and that's the ego, and that's really hard to let that go. Now, this one's kind of long, so bear with me as I read this one, because I really like this one. Says, one thing I wanted to point it out, though, is just like in life, no number of viewers will ever be enough. The person with 5 viewers, and there are a lot of them, would love it if 20 viewers showed up. 20 would love 50. 50 would love 100. 100 would love 500, and so on and so on. Point being, we are never going to be satisfied chasing numbers. I love this next part. Bruce Springsteen said, poor man want to be rich, rich man want to be king, and a king ain't satisfied till he rules everything. It's from Badlands. I love Bruce. It also reminds me of a joke Chris Rock said one time. Oprah is rich, but she isn't wealthy. If Bill Gates woke up and said all he had was Oprah's money, he would jump out a window. Damn Pete. Wow. A 5-pack. Thank you so much, Damn Pete. I appreciate that. All these people are getting the 5-packs going to go, who in the hell is that? I'm happy with 100 viewers. More than that can get challenging. I wouldn't know, Victor. I think in the 5 years I've had 100 viewers one time when I got like a couple of huge raids one night. But, I mean, for me, the thing about Twitch, for me, what I get enjoyment, the part that I really enjoy, is the interaction with Twitch. I can have 100 people in my chat. I can have the number. Oh, shows there's 100 people here. If nobody's chatting, and I've said this before, if nobody's chatting, if I'm not getting that social interaction, I'm freaking out of here, because I can put on Spotify and hear music. I enjoy playing music. I enjoy getting to play if I'm playing a rock stuff or I'm playing Prince stuff or even my slow nights if I'm playing that stuff or one of these days I'm going to do a K-pop show for Tennessee. I enjoy playing the music. I truly, truly do. But I really want the audience interaction. I want people in the chat chatting. So if I've got 100 people, if I've got 5 or 6 people that are chatting, I'm fine. I'm good. Yay, that's great. Tennessee, yay. But if I've got 100 people and nobody's chatting, and I've got a quiet chat, and some of my moderators can back you on this, I'm out of there. I want that. Yeah. The chat. See, did you hear that, chat? Chuck is counting my chaos. And you know what, Tang, who is a great streamer. Boy, how am I going to put this? There's a lot of stuff going on Twitch. Different people don't get along. It goes back maybe to that drama stuff. I treat people in my chat the way they are treating me in my chat. If you're a dick in my chat, you're out of there. I'm gonna ban you. But if you're a dick in somebody else's chat, right? And I hear about it, I'm not gonna KGB, thank you so much for all these subs you're putting in there. I love that. Who else needs one? I'm not gonna ban you in my chat because of what this person did in that person's chat. Okay? But if Jimbo's a dick, if you come into my chat and cause problems, well, yeah. But if you come to my chat and you're a nice person, you're whatever, I'm fine with that. How you treat me is what's important to me and my people. That's what's important. Radioactivity girl, like that. Excuse me. I always say that. Radioactivity. Excuse me. You're a band. I love that. Yeah. So that's amazing. Okay. Let me finish up this. If a partner DJ woke up tomorrow and had the same number of viewers that I get, he would quit and say, "This sucks." LOL. While I'm lucky to get 40 viewers and be happy with that, why not 100? Again, the point is that it's all relative, and levels of so-called success are pretty subjective. We have our regulars, and we are lucky to have them. I couldn't ask for more. So I will just say this: don't be an ego slave to viewer numbers and the ego thing. If you enjoy streaming, do it for 5 viewers or 50 viewers. You have to do it because you love it, as I know you have experienced many times in your career. As long as you dig it, chances are others will too. And you know, that kind of sums up almost kind of the whole thing that I was saying. Wow, a level 4 hype train. Minute left to go. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, okay. I don't want to go get into that. All right, we're gonna take a couple more here. I've taken breaks from social media at times because it can get overwhelming. I believe everyone needs a pause from the chaos it creates. In my opinion, the negative aspects often outweigh the positive ones. Yet, we return to social media as we miss our connections and want to stay updated on current events. And yeah, I mean, you know, I like being that. Victor, I agree with you on that one. So yeah, I mean, you know, yeah, we like this. We like this. We like this interaction. 9 Iron. I love watching DJ 9 Iron. You guys if you haven't checked out 9 Iron, please. All the DJs are great, but I love watching 9 Iron. So entertaining. And I'm gonna have to whip through some of these here. So yeah, it's a social the people coming back after they've taken a break. You know, the social aspect is what a lot of people do. Thank you for the hype train. I appreciate that. I had to take a break from streaming for health reasons. The break was very sudden, unexpected, and urgent. I have been away for months, hoping to return within the next month or two. The Twitch community has been incredibly supportive, beyond what I could have imagined. Their support has been a major reason I want to return, even during some very tough days. Additionally, my love of music and my passion for community also motivate me. And again, that community aspect, it's huge. You know, we like that. I'm glad to see that so many people mentioned the community, because that goes back to the people in the chat. You know, and if you're in my chat right now, I appreciate it. If you're lurking, I appreciate it. But I would rather have you in the chat, and I want you to remember this when you go to other shows, when you're watching other DJs. It's great that you're there. And it's great that you're watching. And even if you're, you know, there for hours and hours and hours, please pop into the chat, because the community, the love, the support that we get as a streamer, we just don't feel like we're playing to the ozone. You know, we know that we're playing, you know, to people that are here, and we truly appreciate that. Lockpick, fine, hint taken. You saw my DJ Dan come back after a long break, very long break. I think the longest break I took, I want to say 3 months. And I actually wasn't ready to come back. But Mr. Latin House put a raid train on, and he was like, "Oh, come on!" You know, one of us, Mr. Latin House puts on these, 5-day-long raid trains with 60 DJs, and he was like, "Oh, come on!" I'm like, "No, yeah, okay." So he drew me back in. Here's another little blurb. I have never taken a break from Twitch and stopped. Let me get this all out all right, so don't put a comma where there's not a comma. I've never taken a break from Twitch and stopped streaming, with the exception of a vacation once in a while. It's a challenge coming up with new content every week, and it can get tiresome. But I do the stream, and I feel it's worth it. And that is true. Raiders, 21 Raiders from All Night. My gosh, Raiders, welcome into the house. Raiders, how you doing? King of Babylon, how you doing? All Night, thank you for the raid. For those Raiders that are coming in, we are in the last part of the Chat for Chuck podcast talk show. We record this live, then put it on Twitch. Put it on YouTube. Ginger929, welcome in. I hope you guys are hitting that follow button too, because it's always nice to get followers. I appreciate that so much. And All Night, thank you. Wow, bringing in 21 peeps. I do appreciate that. We are talking about today people taking a break and then coming back on Twitch as a streamer. You know, have streamers taking breaks and have they come back. We were talking about this because I recently took a break, and I said I recently took a break for a month, and I said I wasn't coming back, but I did, and I've done this over my last 5 years of streaming, and so I reached out to other streamers. For those of you who are just coming into the chat and wondering what the heck we're doing, I reached out to a number of other streamers to get their ideas on it. DJ Papaya, right? Papaya, yeah, love that. Yeah, thank you. Welcome in. Yeah, my Victor said we should have taken bets on it, and my wife and DJ Ryan 22, my Pookie, and a Tina baby. We're all like, some of us did. Lockpick says, and I think Tennessee might have been in there too. He'll be back by Halloween. Well, you know what? I didn't wait till that long. And so I got one more comment here I'm going to read. It says, as you know, I stepped back from streaming our show because of burnout as well as personal reasons. My show got too political. I'm toying around with doing a solo show, kind of like yours, and limit it to an hour. I've got that streaming talking itch. We'll see how it plays out. And oh my gosh, Dark Angel. Wow. Dark Angel Carey. I got a raid from Dark Angel Carey. Dark Angel Carey actually is, we enjoy white, but my wife loves Dark Angel Carey, and she's bringing in the Ubers. Wow. Welcome, Raiders, and welcome to the Chat with Chuck show. This is a sort of a podcast theme kind of thing that we do. We do it on Tuesdays at 4 o'clock for an hour, and we talk about all kinds of stuff. Lately, we've been talking a lot about Twitch stuff, and today we've been talking about Twitch streamers that take breaks, saying they aren't going to come back, but then they do. Faded Epitaph, how you doing? Surprise! I know, Dark Angel. I mean, you probably can't see this because I have a crap ass camera, but I feel like I'm turning red. I'm getting flushed with excitement. Oh, Dark Angel is a great stream, Ginger. Always a good time. And all night DJ also rated us too. So thank you for the raids. The Chat with Chuck show originally, when set up, wasn't actually going to be so Twitch oriented, but over the last 14 shows, it has become that way. And we discuss all things Twitch, and then I record the show live. We're recording it live, and then we put it up on YouTube. And we have discussed things like how to keep people in your stream. If you're a streamer, how do you keep people in your stream? How do you get people there? How do you keep people there? We did a whole show on that. We did a whole show on moderators. What makes a good moderator? You know, do you need moderators? And then we did a show on partners. We've done shows on all kinds of stuff. Tennessee Girl just dropped the link into the YouTube show in case you want to go back on any of the other. I know, only 14. It seems like it's been more, hasn't it? 9 Iron. But we talk about stuff, and some of it's personal, and don't Victor says, I don't trust partners except for KGB DJ. Well, as I said, Victor, you know, we talked about partners, and I think some of us have love-hate relationship with partners that are on Twitch, and I know I do. The people that have made partner on Twitch, God love them, you know, because it is not an easy thing to do. Lockpick only respects a partner that respects a safe word. Yeah. You know, I didn't realize how hard it was to become a partner. You know, not that I had any grand illusions of ever becoming a partner, and nor have I made any you've never seen a stream of mine that said partner push. Mike Carball fought so hard to get it. I've heard a few times that, you know, you have to apply sometimes more than once to get to be a partner. You know, for those of us that are streamers, there's if you look at your your page there. It says, oh, well, this is what you got to do to become a partner. You got so many hours, and you got so many viewers, and it's just not that easy. You can meet the requirements. You can meet the requirement and still not get it. Victor, example right there. He applied 5 times. I kind of figured that's what you meant. Victor says he wants to go to TwitchCon to push the partners into the pool. Jim was like, damn. Partners. How many? I know I've got a couple. DJ C-Sky in the house. How you doing, C-Sky? Another wonderful streamer. I don't know if you want to do this or not, because if you're a partner, if you're a streamer and you're a partner, put a 1 in the chat. I won't hold it against you. Tio, how you doing? Because I appreciate the partners. Victor's a partner. I had taken a break on Twitch. Sam Zero. We've been talking about taking breaks on Twitch. Are you back on now, C-Sky? Queen of the quail. Taking a break. Now, did you take a break? Why did you take a break? Do you mind sharing, C-Sky, why you took a break? I took a break, as some of you know, but those of you that are just popping in, if you're still hanging out, I took a break for my ego, because my ego got hurt. That's the way it goes. You stepped away for this month. Now, did you step away because you were busy? Because I know with your all the stuff that you're doing, your movie thing and all that kind of stuff, following you, or did you step away because you got annoyed? Or if you don't want to share, because you were busy. So that's kind of 2 different things. Stepping away because you're busy or you're at school, I get that. Those of us that have stepped away because either our ego got hurt or we just kind of got to a point to where we're like, why am I doing this? I'm not getting the support. But we come back because we miss it. Because we miss the crowd, we miss the people in Twitch than me. I miss that. I miss something with that. It does. It's somebody said it to me earlier today. It's that itch. Twitch is the itch. You get there, you're streaming, and if you try to step away, that itch, it's there. It's huge. It's hard. You can't step away and just completely go, goodbye, because you enjoy it. And for me, like I stream mainly at nighttime after my wife goes to bed, because my wife goes to bed like at 9:00, and I'm a DJ. I'm up till midnight or so. So in those 3 hours or so, that from the time that my wife goes to bed to the time that I get tired at 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, what am I going to do? It's not like I can do any work. I can't build something around the house. I can watch TV or watch a movie or something. So Night Owls Club. Thank you, Dan Sands, DJ Deb, who streams way long, major hours. So for me, I would rather get on Twitch and stream. Now, when my wife goes to bed, I do a lot of what I call micless nights, because I can't wake her up. So I interact with the chat in the chat, And that's why Victor streams when he does. And Victor doesn't talk during his show either. And I miss, as you can tell, I like talking. I've been talking solid for over an hour right now. I enjoy that. So when I have to do my micless nights, that's hard. It's hard to do a micless night. But I do it because I enjoy playing the music, and a lot of my nights are mellow nights. They're hey, calming down at nighttime. Let's play some chill tunes, and let's talk, and have some popcorn, and do all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna have another sip of my smallest can of Coke in the world here. Coke, it's what for you? They're gonna sponsor me someday. Thank you, C-Sky. That's what I was trying to remember that, and I couldn't get that out. C-Sky is doing these foodie blogs on TikTok, and I see him on Instagram and stuff. It's very cool. Tennessee Girl, my mod, is just shouting out and commanding all over the place. So I do appreciate Tennessee Girl being here, and I know that's not easy for her sometimes. But we're getting close to the end here. But I do I can't say I appreciate you guys enough. Yeah, Jimbo only sends me hot girls playing golf on IG. The coming back, I mean, is nice. And if you're going to talk ego base, it's so nice to have people back here. And Lockpick says, I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say we're happy to see you back, brother. Thank you. And I need to get on some more raid trains. So I'm going to, because I enjoy raid trains. I truly enjoy raid trains. I need to get back on some of the raid trains that are out there. Lockpick knows the guy. If you put a raid train on, contact me. I am doing one for Mr. Latin House this month, and I am going to be on the Prince raid train at the end of the month. On the 28th, there's a Prince raid train. I'll be on for a couple hours. So, but those of you that are here that came in on the chat or came in on the raids, thank you so much, Dark Angel Carey and where'd he go? Where'd Night go? Where'd my night brother go? Well, thank you too for the raids. I do appreciate that. And for those of you again that came in, I hope you hit that follow button. I'm on a lot. Is there anything that we would like to all night? Yes, yeah. Thank you, Tennessee Girl. Before I go, there's the thing I do, and I call it run to the chat. And this is kind of if there's something that I've missed that you would like to talk about.
It's time for Run to the Chat. Your chance to ask a question, spout a thought, make a query, or share an idea. What you got?
So Greg Murray, by the way, right there, the voice of Chuckwood Golf Resort, a great guy and a wonderful streamer. So if there's anything that you would like to touch base on in these last few minutes of the Chat with Chuck show, doesn't matter if it doesn't even have to be anything we've talked about today. It doesn't have to be about episodes about people like leaving and coming back, or or if you've got a personal question, if you want to ask me about my life, liberty, or my pursuit of happiness. I'm trying to be as much of an open book on the show as possible. So I'm gonna, if you've got anything, please feel free to spout it out there in the chat. I want to thank Tennessee Girl for being here, and Jimbo, my two mods. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you being here. All you early birds, Sam. I'm not gonna name you, but the people that did send responses into my questions, my emails, I do want to thank all of you for doing that. I hope everybody that was listening maybe got an insight onto some of the DJs and streamers. What we go through. Tennessee Girl says, will there ever be a tip thing for mods on Twitch? Wouldn't that be cool? That is a very good question. I have heard that there have been a few DJs. I'm trying to think of who it was that have done shows where whatever I make tonight, I'm gonna send out to my mods, and he's do that. He did that. Probably not a bad idea if you're a streamer. As we've talked about with my personal situation, I don't get a lot of viewers in my normal shows, and nor do I make a lot of money on my normal shows. But kicking that down to some of my mods would be great. Maybe my mods on a show, if I had 2 or 3 mods in the room, maybe you have to flip a coin. And this time we're going to give it all to Tennessee Girl, Jimbo, or whoever, and just do all one night. Could do that. That might be an idea. Streamers, think about it. Do a mod appreciation night. Stream your everything you make that night. You're gonna send to a mod. That might be kind of cool. It might not be much. $20, maybe $30, but that could be a night out. It could be extra meal. It could be some extra medication. It could be, just Taco Bell money. Whatever that would be. My wife on Twitch. I'm answering a private message. My wife on Twitch is Black Sheep Kajura. And Black Sheep Kajura rarely logs on under her name. She does occasionally from time to time. But what my wife will do is like when I'm watching Twitch, that's her emote right there. Thank you, Tennessee girl. I have Twitch on almost 24/7 whenever I'm up. KGB's done a few of those for your mods. That's great. So like if I go out to the golf course and I'll turn to my wife. I go, "You want me to leave this on or should I shut it off?" And she'll go, "Oh, leave it on." So she may log on to your channel, but it would probably be under my name. And she rarely chats. She's one of those lurkers that I talk about. So if you ever see me lurking in your chat, especially if it's in the afternoon, chances are it's my wife, because I go out to the golf course a lot, and that's so if you see me out there, it's probably her. It's probably Black Sheep Kajura lurking as Chuck the DJ. Yes, she does. She likes her music. Damn Pete knows. All right. So one more time, I do want to say, thank you to everybody. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do my closing here, and then I'm going to play 15, 20 minutes worth of music. So I want to say thank you again one more time for the support, for the love. Thank you for all the biddies, for all the subs, you cats. It's just amazing. Thank you so much. And next week, 4 o'clock, Tuesday, I hope to see you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Chat with Chuck. Have something you want Chuck to riff about? Send him a whisper and get ready to be entertained. I'm Greg Murray. Thanks for listening.